Chapter 2. The Beginning of Creation. Picture what it was like in the very beginning. There was as yet no earth. There was as yet no matter to reflect the light of the universe. But still, even as now, the universe was filled with a great multitude of diverse energies. Living energy elements thought in the dark and created in the dark. They needed no external light source. Within themselves, they shone, and each contained everything: thought, feeling, and the energy of aspiration. Yet still there were differences among them. In each one a single form of energy predominated. Just as now, the universe included an element of destruction and an element which creates life. And other elements involved a multitude of various shadings, similar to human feelings. There was no way these elements of the universe could come into contact with each other. Within each element, multiple energies created movement, either languidly creeping or, all at once, lightning swift on the dot. What was created within each one could also destroy itself on the spot. Their pulsations did not alter the cosmos. Visible they were not, and each considered that they were alone in space. Alone. Uncertain of their purpose, they were unable to bring about any lasting creation that might give satisfaction. And so, in a time of stagnation without limitation, there were these pulsations, but there was no overall motion or action of any kind. And all at once, as by an impulse, each element was touched by communication. All of them at once, throughout the unfathomable universe. Throughout those complexes of living energy, one suddenly began illuminating the rest. Whether the complex was old or young could not be expressed in ordinary tongues. Whether it arose from the vacuum of space or from the spark of all the possibilities one could ever imagine is not important. Whatever its semblance, the resulting complex bore a most striking resemblance to man who is still living today. It was similar to his second self, not the material, but the eternal, sacred self. The living energy of its aspirations and dreams first began to lightly touch all elements in the universe. And he alone was so fervent in his devotion that he was able to bring all sensations and feelings into locomotion. The sounds of communication began to resound throughout the universe. And if the first sounds were to be expressed through translation into modern words, we would feel the sensation of questions and answers. From all across the unfathomable universe, one question was uttered by all, addressed only to him with a capital H. "What do you so fervently desire?" everyone inquired. And he, confident in his dream, replied, "Conjoint creation and joy for all from its contemplation." And what may bring joy to everyone in the universe? Birth. The birth of what? Each one of us has been self-sufficient for as long as we can recall. A birth in which will be included particles of all. How is it possible to reunite in a single whole that which is all destructive and all constructive at the same time? Through opposing forms of energy, after first bringing them into line, balancing them in one's self, you see. And to achieve this, who so strong would there be? Who so strong would there be? Me. But there is the energy of doubt. Doubt will attempt to decoy and destroy you, and the diverse multitudes of energies will tear you into tiny particles. No one can unite and hold opposites in a single whole. But there is also the energy of confidence. When confidence and doubt are equal, they will facilitate exactitude and beautitude for future co-creation. And how do you call yourself? I am God. I shall be able to deploy particles of all your diverse energies within myself. I shall stay great. I shall create. To the whole universe, creation shall bring forth joy. From all quarters of the universe, all elements simultaneously released the multitude of their energies into him alone, and each endeavored to gain ascendancy over the rest, so that it alone might establish itself as supreme in its new home. Thus began the great struggle of all the forms of energy in the universe. There is no measure of time or space to describe the scale of that struggle. Calm returned only when in each one's consciousness one fact gleamed, that nothing could be higher or stronger than the one energy of the universe, the energy of the divine dream. God possessed the energy of the dream. He was able to take in and compile all within himself, bring all into balance, reconcile opposites, and begin to create, and to create still within himself. Indeed, in his creating of future creations still within himself, he cherished each detail with speed on a measureless scale, and worked out the interrelationships with everything else for each and every creation. He did it all alone, alone in the darkness of the unfathomable universe. Alone he set into motion the diverse energies of the whole universe. The uncertainty of the outcome frightened everyone and removed them at a distance from the Creator. The Creator found himself standing in empty space, and that empty space was expanding. A deathly cold appeared. Dank fear and alienation held sway around, while he alone beheld the awesome dawn of each new day, heard the singing of birds, and breathed the sweet fragrance of the blossoming of the ground. With his fervent dream, he alone unfolded his marvelous creations in their sheen. Stop, they pleaded. You are in empty space. You are going to explode. How do you contain the energy within yourself? Nobody is helping you squeeze or contract, and now your only course is to explode. But if you have a moment remaining, stop. You must act to gently release your creative energies. And he replied, My dreams. I will not betray my pact with them. For them I will continue to contract and accelerate my energies, my powers. My dreams. In them I see the ants hurrying and scurrying across the grass among the flowers, and the eagle in his bold ascent into the sky is teaching his young how to fly. With his own unfathomable energy, God accelerated in himself the motion of all the diverse energies of the universe as a whole. Inspiration squeezed them into a small kernel in his soul. All at once he sensed a touch. Everywhere, from all quarters in return, he felt the burn of a new, unfamiliar energy. And then it withdrew to warm him with its warmth from a distance, filling all with some kind of new power. And all that was previously empty space suddenly began to radiate with grace. And the universe resounded with new sounds when God inquired with tender ecstasy, "Who are you? What kind of energy are you?" And he heard the words of music in reply, "The energy of love and inspiration am I. A particle of you is within me. It alone is able to restrain and cage the energy of disdain, hatred, and rage. You are God. Your energy, the dream of your soul, has been able to bring everything into the harmony of the whole. And if my particle has been of assistance there, then hear me out, O God, and help me to be prepared. What do you desire? Why have you touched me with all the power of your fire? I have realized that I am love. I cannot remain simply a particle of. I desire to give my whole self to your soul. I know, so as to not disrupt the harmony of good and evil, you will not admit me as a whole, but I shall fill with myself the empty space around you. I shall warm with my cheer all the room within and around you. You shall not be touched by the cold of the universe and its gloom. It shall not even come near. What is going on here? What indeed? You have begun to shine even brighter. I am not doing this alone. This is the presence of your energy, your soul. It is only being reflected by me. Your reflected light comes back to your invisible self. Aflame with courage and aspiration, God, inspired by love, exclaimed, "Everything is proceeding with acceleration. Everything is astir in me. Oh, how marvelous is inspiration here above. And now let the dreams of my creation come to fruition in the most radiant love."